I'm Andrew Yang. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm not a politician.
Meet Andrew Yang. You may not have heard of him before, but the 44-year-old tech exec has been running for president since 2017 on one big idea: universal basic income. He calls it the freedom dividend.
Imagine being able to look your teenage son or daughter in the eye and say, starting at age 18, you will receive $1,000 a month from your country. Because your country loves you, your country values you, and you are just as American as everyone else.
Yang says it's the best solution to future job loss from automation and artificial intelligence. And he's gaining traction thanks to an eclectic and growing army of supporters online.
This is truly democracy in action.
Just this week, he announced over 80,000 campaign donors, crossing a DNC threshold for the first debate in June. And Andrew Yang is here live this morning. Welcome to This Week. So if you make it onto that stage, what is going to be your argument for why you are best qualified to take the White House?
Well, we have to solve the problems that got Donald Trump elected in 2016. And to me, the main driver of his victory was that we automated away 4 million manufacturing jobs in Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, the swing states he needed to win. We're in the third inning of the greatest economic and technological transformation in the history of the country, and we need to evolve to the next form of our economy in order for Americans to have a path forward.
And one of your solutions is universal basic income, $12,000 to every American adult. So first off, why should well-off people like you and me get $12,000 a year from the government?
Well, this has been in place in one state, Alaska, for almost 40 years, where it's universal. Everyone in the state gets between $1,000 and $2,000 a year from oil money. And because it's universal, there's no stigma attached. It's not a rich to poor transfer, and it's wildly popular in a conservative state. So what we have to do is we have to make it a right of citizenship for all Americans and do what they are doing in Alaska with oil money, with technology money for everyone around the country.
They had that surplus. This is going to cost $2 to $3 trillion, more than half the federal government's current spending. So how are you going to pay for it?
Well, if you look around, who are going to be the biggest winners from AI and new technologies? It's going to be Amazon, Google, Facebook, and we all can see that Amazon paid zero in federal taxes last year. So what we have to do is we have to join every other advanced economy and have a value-added tax that would fall on the Amazons of the world. And because our economy is now so vast at $20 trillion, up $5 trillion in the last 12 years, a value-added tax at even half the European level would generate over $800 billion in new revenue.
But the value-added tax could end up hurting people at the lower end of the income scale. You also want to consolidate welfare programs, and the $1,000 would be offset against any other federal benefits people get. So couldn't that end up helping well-off people much more than those at the lower end of the income scale?
You know, the people at the top end of the income scale consume a lot more, and you can actually make the VAT so it falls more heavily on luxury goods as opposed to consumer staples. So the way for us to get this money is really to go to where the money is. And where the money is in the hands of the Amazons and the Googles and Facebooks of the world. You
also have come out for pardoning all nonviolent drug offenders. Here you're at the National Action Network this week.
I would pardon everyone who's in jail for a nonviolent drug-related offense. I would pardon them all on April 20th, 2021, and I would high-five them on the way out of jail.
That include cocaine dealers, opioid dealers?
Well, one of the things we have to do is we have to confront the opioid epidemic, the plague in our country. 8 Americans are dying of drug overdoses every hour. So I would decriminalize opioids. But in that particular segment, I was referring to marijuana-related drug offenses specifically.
So only marijuana, not all nonviolent drug offenders.
Yeah, that's correct.
You've also mentioned Facebook and Amazon. They've been winners in this economy. I spoke with Mark Zuckerberg this week, and he's now come out, and it's something you write about in your book, he's now come out for some government regulation of Facebook. Let's take a look.
It's not clear to me, after working on this for a few years now, that we want a private company to be making that kind of a fundamental decision about, what is political speech and how should that be regulated.
And how do you respond, though, to some who say, but wait a second, that's your responsibility. It's your platform. It's your company.
Well, I think broadly we would say that that setting the rules around political advertising is not a company's job. Right? I mean, there's been plenty of rules in the past. It's just that at this point, they're not updated to the modern threats that we face.
I see you nodding your head. Kind of surprised to see Mark Zuckerberg calling for regulation, but you say that we should go even farther and have a department, an entire department overseeing social media?
Yeah, Department of the Attention Economy, because the data clearly shows that in addition to the problems in our democracy, because people are getting information through social media, we're also seeing a huge surge in depression, anxiety, and emotional issues, particularly among adolescent girls.
That research isn't that clear. You disagree?
Yeah, I disagree. I mean, the data is very clear, and if you look, you see that the surge in anxiety and depression among teenage girls in particular is coincident with smartphone adoption and social media.
One of the things that has been a surprise in your campaign is some of the support you've been getting from members of the alt-right and white supremacists like Richard Spencer. Here he was on a podcast.
Now we have Andrew Yang, who's conventionally liberal on a host of issues, but who will offer us $1,000 a month. Trump offers us bluster and no dollars per month. Andrew Yang comes in and offers us this. Why don't we just get on the Yang gang?
I know you said you don't want support from white supremacists, but do you understand why they're drawn to you, and do you need to do more to separate from them?
Well, you know what? I've completely disavowed any support from anyone who holds to some sort of hateful or racist ideology. I mean, I'm the son of immigrants myself, and that's antithetical to what I believe. But I do want to stay focused on trying to solve the problems of the American people. And we are destroying many, many communities' paths forward in the 21st century. 30% of malls are going to close in the next 4 years because of Amazon sucking up $20 billion in commerce each year. And working in retail is still the most common job in our economy.
How do you translate this online support you've been getting into votes?
Well, the great thing, George, is that I'm already polling nationally at 1 to 3%, depending upon the poll, and most people have still never heard of me. So as more people hear about me and my message and my vision for a trickle-up economy from people and families and communities up, our support will keep on growing. I've got a CNN town hall next Sunday that's going to be a great opportunity.
Andrew Yang, thanks for coming in this morning.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, George.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.